Hey YouTubers, welcome back to my channel. Anyone who knows me, especially people who love reading books, will know how annoying I am. Purely because I'm one of those guys where if you recommend me a book and tell me how amazing it is, I'll say, it's okay, I'll wait for the movie to come out. Or I'll start reading books like Harry Potter and The Da Vinci Code, but take so long to finish the book that the movie ends up coming out, and so I just decide not to finish the book and just watch the movie. Surprisingly enough, there are a few books that have really interested me over the years, which I think have really helped me in getting to where I am now. So I thought I would do a little summary about them here, and maybe in a later video I can go into more detail on a few of them. While the intro video plays, why not hit the like button if you prefer a movie over books, or comment if you are one of those bookworms and let me know your favourite book. So, there seems to be a theme with all the books that I ended up reading, where they all seem to be self-help books, ways in which I can better myself. Now, I've added Amazon links to each of the books in the description below, so you can find them easily. I'll give you a high-level summary of the books, but obviously with these self-help books, knowing the plot is the driving factor for wanting to read them. So hopefully you'll get some kind of desire to want to read them yourself. Some of these books I have the physical copy and some of them I've downloaded onto my Kindle app as well. Because it's great to just read a few pages while you're going on your commute to work or back home. Number one on the list. Full disclosure, I have to admit when I first heard about this book, I found out that there was a movie. And so I decided to watch the movie first. However, I found the movie to be so powerful that it led me to reading the book as well. Probably a lot later in my life, but that's because the movie made such a huge impact on me. And this book is The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. Now I think by now a lot of people would have heard about The Secret or come across it at some point in their life. But if you haven't, you would have definitely experienced it without even knowing. So let's read the blurb of the book. You hold in your hands a great secret. It's been passed down through the ages, highly coveted, hidden, lost, stolen, and bought for vast sums of money. This centuries-old secret has been understood by some of the most prominent people in history: Plato, Galileo, Beethoven, Edison, Carnegie, Einstein, along with other inventors, theologians, scientists, and great thinkers. Now, the secret is being revealed to the world. As you learn the secret, you will come to know how you can have, be, or do anything you want. You will come to know who you really are. You will come to know the true magnificence that awaits you in life. So, why was the book so powerful to me? Well, basically, it helped me in getting into the right mindset in order to tackle anything in my life. I think everyone has low moments in their life, and low point is always respective to each individual. So there is no point in comparing your low point to someone else's. But what is worth comparing is the way someone deals with their low points. This is where The Secret helps. The Secret is all about the law of attraction. Basically, your thoughts, words, deeds, and actions together result in what you attract into your life. It's so much easier to read this book or watch the movie and take note of the points, but actually truly putting it into action is the hardest part. It's almost like teaching an old dog new tricks. However, it is not impossible. And if you want to see significant changes in your life, I strongly suggest dropping everything, heading down to the link below to buy the book, or if you're more like me, head over to Netflix and watch The Secret. Now another thing that is part of the book and the movie is vision boards, where you put pictures of things you want in your life on a board so that you can visualize yourself achieving it. Both my wife and I do this, and we have both been doing this for years before we even got together. In a future video, I think I might dive in a little bit deeper into this book, as it's something I believe can really help in achieving the aspirations I have in my life and hopefully help you guys too. So book number 2, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Now this has been a pivotal part of my life. Ever since I read this book, I couldn't stop thinking that there is a better way of living life. Let's take a look at the blurb. The #1 personal finance book of all time explodes the myth that you need to earn high income to become rich especially in a world where technology, robots, and global economy are changing the rules. It teaches us why acquiring and building assets can be more important to your future than a big paycheck, and the tax advantages investors and business owners enjoy. Challenges the belief that your house is an asset, as millions of people learn firsthand that the housing bubble burst and the subprime mortgages fiasco raged. Reminds us why we can't count on the school system to teach our kids about money and why this critical life skill is more important today than ever before. And also explains what to teach your kids about money so they can be prepared for the challenges and opportunities of today's world and enjoy the rich life they deserve. Now, I got to say, there is one part of this book that really threw me off my personal growth path. Because when I read it initially, I was quite young, probably in my late teens. And there's a part in this book where Robert talks about how you should stop learning to save money, but learn how to spend money. Now, this made amazing sense to me as a 19-year-old, starting to see money through paychecks. But unfortunately, I didn't have enough life experience to truly understand this point because I ended up spending my money on unguided methods where I thought I would be generating wealth, but I didn't quite. Now, after years of retrospection, I have understood that it is very important to save up my money at the beginning, but in order to utilize that money to help you in the long run. Life does not always work in the way that we want, and savings, if saved correctly, can really set you up for a much better future. Now, going back to the point of what Robert said, where we should stop learning how to save. Yes, I do agree with this as well though, because after a certain point, once you have done your initial saving, you need to then start thinking of smart ways to use your money. Now, at the same time, this book has some really amazing tips and points and learnings to help you navigate your personal finance. And I think I'll definitely need to do some more videos talking about certain points within this book in a bit more detail in a future video. Okay, now let's move on to the next book, Conversations with God by Neale Donald Walsch. Now, before you think I'm going to go all religious on you and try to convert you, hear me out. So, I don't consider myself to be religious, but to be more spiritual. I believe and respect in all faiths and religions, and I truly feel that each and every religion and faith fundamentally teach great things to everyone to live their life. However, we as the people misunderstand the teachings and bring bad names to the faiths and religions, which is why I was also skeptic about reading this book written by an American man talking about a conversation with God. Obviously, my first thoughts were that this is someone talking about Christianity and Jesus. But luckily, the person who recommended this book to me said it's not what you think. The book is a lot more deeper than that. And if you read the first 10 pages of the book and you're still not interested, just put it down, as you won't find the rest of it interesting. So let's have a look at the blurb from that book. Suppose you could ask God the most puzzling questions about existence. Questions about love and faith, life and death, good and evil. Suppose God provided clear, understandable answers. It happened to Neale Donald Walsch, and it can happen to you. You're about to have a conversation. Walsh was experiencing a low point in his life when he decided to write a letter to God, venting his frustrations. What he did not expect was a response. As he finished his letter, he was moved to continue writing, and out came these extraordinary answers to his questions. They will amaze you with complex paradoxes that make perfect sense, profound logic, and astounding truths. Here are the answers that bring together as one the deeper meaning of all beliefs and traditions. Here are the answers that will change you, your life, and the way you view other beings. For those with an open mind, limitless curiosity, and a sincere desire to seek the truth, this book is stunning. So, this book really opened my eyes. Now, I've been lucky to have a spiritual guru who has taught me a lot of things that are mentioned in this book. But being born and brought up in UK and living a Western lifestyle, I was able to understand and relate more to the messages within this book. This book might not have helped me on a financial basis, but generally, just in life, I found this book to be a huge asset to understanding how the world works. And in order to truly navigate your way through finance and business, it helps a lot to have a solid foundation in the general understandings of existence as well. But like I mentioned before, the same advice that was given to me, I want to give it to you, where if you're not interested within the first 10 pages, then just put it down. Because right now is not the right time for you to be reading the book. But there will be a time later in your life where it will resonate with you, and that's when it will have the most impact for you. So, the next book is Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success by Steve Harvey. Yep, that's right, one of the kings of comedy, the bald-headed, moustache-repping, big-lipped guy who loves his suits. Steve Harvey has managed to attain masses of success over his years in show business and has been a father figure to most of the younger generation, especially within the African American community. However, if you have ever watched his daytime TV shows, you will notice he tries to impart his wisdom wherever he can, even if sometimes it's a bit controversial. So let's take a look at the blurb. Steve Harvey, New York Times best-selling author, nationally syndicated television and radio host, accomplished entrepreneur and esteemed philanthropist, shares his personal principles of success in this enlightening work that will guide you to a life of riches. So it took Steve Harvey years to recognize his personal gift, his unique talent of making people laugh and listen. And even then, he still struggled, at one point being homeless and living out of his car. But through it all, he remained focused on his goals, using his gift as his tenacity to achieve unimaginable success. And now, in Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success, he's paying it forward to help you live your dreams and create your own legacy. Every person is born with a gift, and that gift can never be taken away from you. You need only to harness it, build it, and attach it to the right vehicle, using it every aspect of your life. With Steve's easy advice and his sensible yet innovative principles, Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success is your roadmap to identifying your gift, perfecting it, and letting it transform your life. Finding success and creating a legacy is not easy. It takes time and courage. With this essential guide, and through Steve's warm humor and remarkable insights, you can harness your gift and create the life you've always wanted. Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success will inspire you, it will motivate you, and it will change your life. Well, this book, Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success, almost hones into the whole idea of the secret, but then uses practical experiences from Steve Harvey's life to help you try and identify your own calling. I found this book really easy to read, as it's written in the same way that Steve Harvey talks. And if you like the guy, you'll love the book, as Steve is a straight-talking dude and just keeps it real. Each chapter in the book is short and concise, making it almost bite-sized and easy to digest, which is my kind of books. I guess one of the key things from this book is that Steve focuses on things that you have already, rather than going out and getting things you don't. Essentially, the book helps you understand to navigate your life using the skills and gifts that are innate within yourself. Everyone is different, but that doesn't mean that some people have what it takes and some people don't. It just means that everyone has a different path to making it in life. This is probably a book that will make sense to go into a little bit more deeper on other videos in the future. Now, there are a few other books such as The 4-Hour Week, Freakonomics, Screw It, Let's Do It, and The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. But maybe I'll do another video about those in the future. I hope I've given you a little insight into the books that made an impact in my life, and maybe they can make an impact in yours too. I'll leave a link down below for all the books that I mentioned today if you feel like having a read. Now, if there's a certain book that calls out to you more than the others, and you want me to do a deeper dive into that book, just leave a comment below. And as always, remember to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so you get notified when a new video comes out. And don't forget to like, share, and comment. See you at the next video.